This Chaser News Alert is proudly brought to you by Dana Vale's recreation of Gallipoli. Just like the original, it's a pointless disaster. ABC Television, celebrating 50 years of BBC repeats. And Garuda Airlines, free tickets to Bali. Tickets one way only.
Welcome to another Chaser News Alert. I'm Julian Morrow, and making news this week. Australian cricketers defeat the World 11 team and concept. Australia's first World War death toll increases by 1, and millionaire winner Rob Fulton spends his prize on a week's worth of petrol. But to our top story. Jubilation in Denmark this week as Australia's Crown Princess Mary gave birth to a baby boy. Royal watchers say her newborn son has already distinguished himself as a fully fledged prince.
Only days into his young life, Princess Mary's son is exhibiting the classic traits expected of other blue-blooded princes. As soon as he left hospital, the young Dane began partying hard, even experimenting with recreational drugs. Then on Monday, the regal rascal shocked guests at a fancy-dress ball in Copenhagen. Yesterday, however, he cleaned up his act by joining the army, and in the afternoon went to Australia to work as a jackaroo. Network 10, meanwhile, has commissioned a second series of reality show, Australian Princess, with a raft of contestants lining up to win His Highness's tiny hand. Amid the frenzy, the majestic midget has begged the media to leave his family in peace. The last straw being an article suggesting the prince was fathered by James Hewitt.
In less important news, Iraq has conducted its first ever democratic referendum, and the only constitutional point that Sunni, Shiite and Kurdish groups agreed upon was the right to bear arms against each other. But Iraqi gun enthusiasts have defended firearms, saying laser-guided ground-to-air shoulder-mounted rocket launchers don't kill people, the American Zionist conspiracy kills people. I'm joined live from Iraq by Dominic Knight. Dom, why aren't the Iraqi people concerned about other human rights?
Well, Julian, in Iraq, other rights are meaningless. For example, the right to life.
But won't the ready supply of firearms mean an even greater death toll in Iraq?
Not necessarily. The Iraqis have just passed new laws requiring mandatory safety catches on suicide bombers. So that should help.
And the different sides haven't been able to agree on anything else, Dom?
Not quite. They have agreed that as soon as the Americans leave, there'll be outright civil war.
Thank you, Dom. Closer to home now, and unions slammed the government this week over an advertising campaign promoting new industrial legislation. The Prime Minister defended the campaign, saying he wants workers to spend more time at home with their families watching the commercials.
With its IR campaign in full swing, the government now intends to broadcast its Work Choices commercials all weekend and on holidays without any breaks at all. Even the government's ad agency worked overtime to produce the ads, although that was just because it took so long to make the reform sound fair. But despite the campaign, the Australian people still feel worse off, especially having to watch all those ads. Now, the Prime Minister claims he's just making the IR system simpler by refining it down to 2 easy steps. But the Democrats are opposed to excluding small businesses from unfair dismissal laws. They say that no Democrat is ever likely to be a member of an organisation with more than 100 people in it. Meanwhile, opposition leader Kim Beazley is also determined to roll back the new laws. His plan is to oppose them at the next election, lose it, and then say it's all too hard.
That's all for now, but tune in next week for all the big stories, including next week's Who Wants to Be a Millionaire answers posted on the ACT Chief Minister's website, and the World Health Organisation endorses new bird flu shots. That's on your next Chaser News Alert.